Welcome to Websites for Beginners, and this is Divi Deconstruct number 1 with JP. In the Deconstruct video series, we look at the layouts that are already pre-made within Divi that you can use as is, and they are great. But the reason we look at them is that we deconstruct them so that you can see how the people that are working in Divi, how they are making their layouts, how they are thinking about their page builder, how they use all those different modules and functions within the page builder. Personally, my best way of learning is to copy from others. Copy from the geniuses out there. And I mean, who's better to copy from than Divi themselves? And that's why in the Deconstruct series, we look at those layouts, we deconstruct them, and I show you how to build them the way that the Divi designers and developers built them. Right, so for this course, you have to, of course, install your Divi into your WordPress site. And then the first thing we need to do is create a new page. So if we go here to our website and you go to Pages, and all pages, you can click on Add New. And I'm just going to give this a name like Divi Deconstruct, and I'm going to call this #001. And then the first thing we do is we publish this page. Only going to show you this time. In the future, for the Deconstruct videos, you have to do it by yourself. After this, you say use the Divi builder and then use the visual builder. Though Divi has a backend builder, I'm never going to use it. Well, I guess I'm never going to use it because it is so much friendlier to use the front-end builder. Now, when you open your new page, this is going to pop up. It's going to give you 3 options. Now, we are not going to build one from scratch, so we're not going to be using this one, and we're not going to clone a page that we already have. So we are going to use a pre-made layout. So you click on this one, and this will open the load from library settings. Now, if you look here at the top, you will say 74 layout packs. This is basically a layout pack is a complete designed website. So there are 74 ready-made websites within Divi. And I would say this is probably for people who don't have a lot of background in design, or if you want to have some ideas, this is probably one of Divi's strengths, are these layout packs. And we are going to take these layout packs, we're going to disassemble them one by one slowly, and I'm going to show you how you can create it by yourself. Now, you can go through this and you will see all these layout packs here, or you can filter here on the left by category. Let's click here on the business one, and you will see it will load all the layout packs that are connected to the business. I'm choosing this one over here called the Business Consultant Layout Pack, and you click on it. Once you click on it, it opens this view for you. You will see there are 8 pages in here. So I think currently we're here on this landing page. If you click on it, you will view this, and you can scroll through it to see how it looks. So you can click on all of them to have a look at what you can find in them. We're going to start with the home page. This is the page that we will be deconstructing, and we will be cloning it more or less. So because it's an empty page, you can just click on this one, use this layout. And depending on your internet, this may take 30 seconds, this may take a minute, or in some cases, it may take more than a minute, because what Divi is doing now, it is downloading all that images and all the info and the layout from their server, and after that you can just use it. Right, so you get the check mark, and now it has loaded this entire page that we just saw. Of course, you're not going to be using this page just like it is here ever on your website. You're going to style it the way you want it, but for now we are just going to try and recreate it. Let's have a look at what happened here. Now, this is a very wide and a very big view of what's going on here. If you want to have a little bit more of a smaller view so that you can see things in a better perspective, go here to the bottom, and where you see this magnifying glass, click on that and you will see it will zoom out. This is very nice. Now it has zoomed up. You will see, if you go to the top, you see this blue box. And if you go down one, you see there's a purple box. and then there's another blue box here, and another one here, and another one, and then one at the bottom. So every box is a section. This section here at the top is your default section that loads every time when you open a new page in Divi, and we don't want this one. So we're going to remove it, and we do that by going to this trash icon here on the blue box and click on delete section, and then it will be gone. Now we have this purple, and then we have another one under it, second section, third section here, fourth section here, and fifth section here. We are only going to look at this section here for this video. So we're going to remove these others so they are not distracting. So let's go to this section, click on the trash can, and it's gone. This one we remove, this one we remove, and this one we remove. And now we only have this one left. And if we want to see the full page again, you can just click again on zoom out. And now we can see this entire section. This is what we often refer to as a hero image when you land on a new website. This is very typical of what you find at the top of a page on a home page of a website. Is this kind of image with a title over it and some buttons. And we refer to these buttons in many cases as a call to action, because we want you to take some action. We want you to click on something. So whenever we want people to do something on a website, like click, then we call it a call to action. We ask them to act, do something. Let's begin recreating this and deconstructing it. And throughout this series on Divi Deconstruct, I'm going to show you more and more and more of all the various tricks that are hidden within Divi. Shortly, Divi is one of the older page builders at the market, and often with older stuff, not only page builders, there is far more within Divi than you will find in the newer page builders. And it is often based on an old system, so it can get a little bit clunky. But Divi has provided in 2018 so many new features to allow you to navigate very quickly throughout Divi. And I'm going to try and give you all these features, and you just have to learn them from the beginning, because you will see how quickly it is going to speed up your workflow. But enough of the chat, let's start making this. And I'm going to show you exactly how Divi made this section. Previously, you noticed that they were blue, and here's a purple section. And there's a reason Divi's got three kinds of sections that you can add, and you will understand later what do they do. The normal one, you go here to this plus that says add new section. So we want to add a new section, click on this one. And you will see there are three. The blue one is a regular section, and this one you will be using most of the time. The specialty one, we'll look at that one in the future. This one gives you a little bit more weird layouts, but the full width section is the purple one. So whenever you see a section with this purple border, you know you are working with a full width section, giving you control over the entire width of the page. So let's click on that one. Once you've clicked on it, it's going to load the section, and it's going to allow you to load one of 9 modules that are specifically made for the full width section. And in this case, we are going to use the full width header. Right, after I've clicked on the full width header, it opens this bar for me, my menu, or my editor here on the left. And you can move your editor around. If it didn't do this and it looked more like, let me get it out of here. Let me click on that. I'm just quickly going to do this so you can see what I'm talking about, detach it. If it looked like this, a small one that popped up here, I like to dock it to the left, and you do that by clicking here on this snap to left, and that's what you get. So if you wanted to know how I got it there to the left, just remember, and you can undock it again from here. Then it's big, then you can make it smaller again. You can drag it around, but I like to leave it there on the left so I can get used to where it is. Right, so let's just close this. You can say check, and let's have a look at what Divi did. Click on your magnifying glass, and you can see now it has loaded another purple frame, which is our full width section, similar to that one. And inside, there's the module. And the module is always this gray element. You hover with your mouse over it until you see that pops up. And now when you click on the module settings, it will open this editor on the left. I want to see a little bit more in full, so let's go and click on the magnifying glass to zoom out. The first thing I would always start with is your background. It helps a lot to give you an idea of how it will look. And we do that by going here to our content, and you just scroll down. You see you can collapse these labels here, these menus, and then for this one is your background. I'm only going to show you in every Divi Deconstruct those things that apply to that specific thing we are working on. I'm not going to show you all those things. For example, there's no links in this one. There's no admin label. There's no images. So I'm just going to show you how we're going to work with the background. Click on the background. And then over here, you go to the third one that says image. And if you click on it, you will see add background image. Click on that, and then your media library will open. You will find, and it's not magic, you will find that this image will be in your media library because you imported this layout from Divi. Divi has also loaded these images into your media library, so they will be there. Click on this one, and after you clicked on it, you say upload an image. And there you can see your image has been uploaded. But you have to do a few more things. For example, you see there's space here and there's space here. And of course, the most obvious thing, there's an overlay. It looks dark. So let's go do the overlay first. For the overlay, that will be under your design. Click on design. And then you go down, you see over here, overlay, click on that. And now we're going to give it a dark, which is a black overlay. You see here are colors that you can choose from, and we click on the black one, and once we click on it, it goes black. So where is my image? For that, we have to reduce the opacity of the color. Click here on this eyedropper, and then you will see our box will open like this. All the way to the right, this slider controls the transparency. Grab on it and start dragging down, and you will see it gets lighter until all the way at the bottom where there is full transparency. We just want it at 80%. So how do we get it at 80%? Look here where you see RGB A, and A is this last value over here. To get that at 80%, you move your slider until you see 0.8, which will be 80% because it's 0.8. And we move it all the way up there. You can get it at 0.8 or 81.81. I got it there at 0.8. There we go. So we've got the color match now for the overlay. The next thing we want to do is we want to give it the space here at the bottom and the space at the top. That is also part of your design. We will do that under spacing. So again, under design, go down, 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 down until you find spacing. Click on that. And we're going to add this under your custom padding. And this custom padding is working like follow. For the top, we are going to add 8% of your screen. So you have to type in 8 and then the percentage sign after that. So 8 and then percentage. If you type in the 8 and PX shows up, you just delete it and you type the percentage. Now you can go to the next part, which is the bottom, and we're going to add here 260 pixels. So you type in 260p, 260p. There we go. Let's just check. Right. And if you type in 260 and there's a percentage sign that shows up, you just quickly delete the percentage and you type again the P. Let's check it here at the bottom that it's correct. And then let's zoom out to see if it looks more or less the same. Very nice. You see already we got the background image there. We did the overlay and we applied the padding. The padding is the space at the top and at the bottom. Now the first thing I notice here is that all the content in this section is flushed to the right. So let's go do that. Take your mouse to the bottom until you see the module here and you see the module settings. Click again on it and let's just zoom out. And for this, to flush it to the right, go to design and we go to layout, and then you will see text and logo orientation, and click on this one that will flush it to the right. Great. Now we've got everything basically set up. If we get a bird's eye view again, you will see that we've done the entire sections layout. Now we can start styling our content. Let's go have a look at that content. Scroll down to the bottom and we click here again on module settings. Let's look a little bit at the module settings. You will see that title, subheading text, and then we have space for button number 1 and button number 2. Let's put these two so you can see them better. Now don't care too much about title because title should be the bigger one, but you can see in the top one, the title is the smaller one, Professional Business Consulting, and the subheading is actually the bigger one. You can choose which one you want to have bigger based on the style that you're applying to this section. Let's do that by typing in here, and for the title we're going to type in the Professional Business Consulting, and then click on subheading text and we say take your business to new heights. And for this part here, that's a paragraph, you'll see it's over here. Go and highlight that and delete it. We don't want that. We just want it like that. So that was here in the paragraph section. Let's go back to our button number 1 text. What did they say? They said learn more. Learn more. And then I'm just going to tab to the next button number 2 text, get started. Right. Just click and let's have a look again. So you can see there we've got all our text ready. Now we begin styling it. Now this styling, a year ago, the styling would have taken you much longer than it currently would. And the reason for that is that Divi has brought in some excellent features in this year, which have been leading the way in how to speed up workflow and do styling across your document. And actually many other page builders have been copying what Divi has been doing in 2018. So I'm going to show you quickly from the beginning. You learn how to do this. It will greatly enhance your workflow. Let's go to our bottom one again and we click here on our module settings to open our editor on the left. And what I want you to notice are these little blue brushes in the circles that you see on the module. What these blue brushes allow you to do is that if you want to style, like you want to change the color or the font only of this heading here, you can click on that blue brush. Now, if I hover over it, I don't click on it, the first thing you're going to notice is a blue bounding box. And that blue bounding box indicates to you what you are going to be editing when you click on that brush. That is an excellent feature. And if you click on it, observe what happens on the left within your editor. I'm going to click check, and you will see it automatically goes to design. It opens this one called title text. Out of all these that you could have selected, it opens this one, and you automatically or immediately at least know where you can start editing. Let me show you that with the second one. So if we go to the second one here and click on the brush, it's going to open subhead text. So this is a very, very nice feature. Even here, if I go and hover over title text in the editor here on the left, you will see the blue bounding box appears on the module. If I go to subhead text, you see, if I go to button 2, there's a small blue line around button 2. Let's do it again so you can see it. Professional Business Center, hover over it until you see the blue bounding box. Click on the brush, and then on the left, all your styling options appear. Styling always involves your font, your sizing of your font, your line spacing, and your colors and your borders. It's nothing about the content, it's all about how it looks. So let's begin to do this. We're going to leave it on H1, which is a heading 1. And then for the title font, you're going to look for Poppins. If you don't see Poppins here at the top, you just type in Poppins like this. And once you see Poppins show up, you click on it and you will see it changes to Poppins. Next, we're going to put it on bold. So you click there on title font weight on bold. And then title font style, we're going to use this one, which is all caps. Next, we want to use the color that they use. So how do we get that color? Let's exit here by clicking on the check to save our changes here. We go to the top one, we click on module settings, and then we go here on the right, hover until you see the blue box, click on the paintbrush, and now you will see the color that they've applied is retained here. When you click on it, the code of this color appears in this box. So all you need to do is highlight it, then copy it by pressing Ctrl+C on your keyboard. And if you're on a Mac, it's Command-C. So I'm going to press Ctrl+C. I'm going to exit here. I'm going to go down to my section, clicking in on settings and open this area. Go to title text color, click on the ink dropper, click inside that box and Ctrl+V or Command-V to paste. And you see the color changes. And that's how you are going to apply that color from there to this one at the bottom. Right, let's now look at the title size, and we're going to make the title size 14 pixels. So the pixels will appear, and then title letter spacing, we're going to make 2. And this is the space between each letter. It makes the text look a little bit wider. So we put in 2. And then we're going to, you see immediately it makes it wider, a little bit easier to read for the small one. And then the title line height will give us some space above and below the line. And for this one, we're going to type 1.8. And you will see the letters EM appear there. M is what we usually use for line height. Next, and that's it. Can you believe it? Yes, that's it. So let's zoom out again so you can have an idea of how far we've gotten. You see there's our text. We've copied that brilliantly. Our background we've done. Now we're going to go to this one that looks like our main heading. Zoom out. Let's go to our bottom section. Click on this one. And then we go to take your business to new heights. Hover over it. Click on the blue brush. And then you will see the subhead text opening. Good. So for this one, we are going to be using one that is called Playfair Display. Type in Playfair, and then you see Playfair Display open here. Click on that. And for the Playfair Display, we're going to use the bold font weight. Again, we're going to make it all caps. And the color is remaining on white. Subhead text size. So the text size is quite big, which we're going to put at 48. You see there it goes to 48. The letter spacing, we're not going to do anything there. Leave it at that. And the subhead line height is 1.4. And now you will tell me, JP, but this looks very different than the one at the top. That one has got 2 lines. What's going on here? So what Divi has done is that they've taken this entire container width and they've reduced it halfway. Let's get not too technical, but in the Divi container, that container is 1100 pixels wide, 1100 pixels wide. And what they've done is they've reduced this to only 550 pixels, which is 50%. Let's not get too technical. Let me just show you how to do that. The more we do this, the more you will get comfortable with it. Let's hover over our section, go to the module settings. Let's go again to design, and then we go to sizing. Here we click on sizing. And now you will see that slider that says content width. Currently it's at 100%. So we want it half. So actually what we can do is just type in 50%, and that's what I'm going to do. Observe what happens on screen when I type in 50%. And you see, voila, it reduces and we get exactly the same effect as the one they have up here. And we're almost done. All we need to do now is style these buttons. Let's go then to the buttons. We click again on the module and then we hover over the button, get the blue brush, and it will open for us button 1. And you see it says use custom styles for button 1. Currently this is the default style. We want to use our custom style, so you have to enable yes. The reason why Divi puts it on no is because they want to keep it very simple. They don't want too much clutter here in the editor. But of course the editor has become so big over years that it's very difficult actually to not have it cluttered. So they could have left it on yes, but at this moment they leave it on that one. Button text size we're going to leave at 20. We're going to leave the button 1 text color on white. We're not going to do anything here. And then button 1 border width we're going to reduce to 1. So we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Button 1 border color, we're going to put it on white, but we're going to reduce it in the opacity to 50%. So look again what I did there. I clicked on the white, then I click on the ink dropper, eyedropper, and then reduce this slider until I see 0.5. Then you see there, and then I get there 0.5. That is our 50% opacity. You can see already the border looks similar to the border up there. Good. Next one, we are now at the button 1 border radius, and that is the little corners. We're going to make that sharp, so we're going to put in a 0. We don't want any corners on that. And the letter spacing, I think the letter spacing we're going to put it on 1, give it a little bit more space. Now we're going to change the font. This one is a very interesting one called Saira Extended or Saira Condensed, S-A-I-R-A, and Extra Condensed. We choose this one. Right, so you can see now it goes down to that size. That's exactly where we want that one to be. And then we're going to put it on semi-bold. We're going to make it also all caps. So font style, click on this one. And then if I hover over it, you see it's got this little icon that appears there. The top one is this little arrow. Let's choose this arrow. It's over here. And the icon color is the same color as this one up here. Now, previously we went up here and we copied it and then we pasted it. But there's a very nice feature within Divi that allows us to just use the same color again. So as you can see here in this color palette, we only click here on this one called Recent. And then that orange that we had pasted earlier will appear here. So there's no need for us to go and copy it again. It's there. It has been retained in the memory of Divi. So all I need to do is click on it again. So if I click on it, the color is applied. If I hover over it, you will see the color is now there on that one. Just want to check up there again. Then we go button 1. That's correct. That's a button 1 hover text color. It's the same. We want that orange. So we click on Recent and we apply the color. Let's go hover over it. You see now the text also that orange. Button 1 hover background color. We don't want any. You see this one is empty. So we click here with the slash through to give it full transparency. Great. And then button 1 border color, we're going to reduce it. Again, we click on white, click on the eyedropper and reduce it to 50%. There we go. Now we've styled it exactly like the one at the top. That is very, very nice. And the border, hover border radius, I'm also going to make that 0 because we don't want any corners. We want it to have nice sharp corners. I wish there was a way that I can just copy this button settings and apply it to the next button settings, but currently there's no such a thing. So we have to go and style the second button in exactly the same way. So we just go here, hover over the second button and click on the brush. Then button 2, we're going to say yes again. And then we go to that all is correct. Button 1, 2 border width. Remember that's 1. And our border color is white with opacity of 50%. Reduce it to 50. I hope I remember all these settings. Border radius is at 0. And letter spacing we put at 1. Ooh, my brain is surprising me. And we're going to put it on that Saira Extra Condensed. The font weight. And you see there, I forgot. I think the font weight we left just like that. And we're going to make it all caps. And we change our button icon. Let me just check. Yep, that one is correct. And button 2 icon color on Recent. I'm going to go that. Right. And then again, hover text color, also Recent. Recent, I mean. There we go. Hover background, we don't want any. So I click on the slash to give me full transparency. Hover border color. The border is that 50% white. Reduce it. All the way to 50, 0.5. And then hover border radius is 0. And letter 2 hover letter spacing. Oh, we have to put that on 1 as well. Yes, let me see. Okay. Good. Good. And that's it. We're done. Click here on the check mark. Now, one feature I haven't shown you yet, which you should get used to, is the save function. Because if you don't save something and you exit, or the power goes off, or whatever happens, like your cat, like my cats run over the keyboard or do something on your computer, your work is gone. You can still undo it with a Control-Z, but if you have lost it due to power failure, it is gone. So you have to save it. And we do that by going here to the bottom where you see that green one that says save. If you do not see this, it's because if you click here in the middle on this little purple icon, you will see it expands and contracts this menu function. So if you see the ... click on it and you will see the save appear. And then you can click on it, and after you've clicked on it, you will see it thinks, it makes the little circle, and then after the circle is gone, there's your check mark, it's been saved. I like to use shortcut keys because it speeds up my workflow. And across board, any software program that you use, the universal shortcut key for save is Control and S. Control S, and on the Mac, of course, it is Command S. So I'm just going to press Control S, and you can look at what happens at the save icon in the top and the bottom right hand corner. Control S, and you will see it saves automatically. Good. And let's have again a view. Click here on this one, and you can see it looks exactly the same. We have created this section 100% the way the Divi developers and designers did. And now you also know how to make one for your website. In the next Divi Deconstruct, we will look at the second section of this layout.